Hello everyone. With this video I will show you how to install the Houdini engine into Maya. First thing first, you have to make an account on Houdini. So first you'll go in on side effects, and if you don't have an account yet, quickly make one. Don't have an account, sign up. Once you're in, you can Google search again on Houdini engine indie version. If you go on that website, you see like the Houdini indie license, but what we're going to look for is to get free Houdini engine. In here you have to go to add to cards, like at the very bottom, and just fill in everything you have to go to. In the end, you have to do your normal filling. It's not going to cost you anything, it's just the information that you have to give in. It's the usual thing. In the end, you should get an email from side effects saying with a password and such what they needed. Once you have that, you can start installing Houdini 1606. And with here I'll also show you what kind of settings you have to check in when you install it, just to be safe. So let's click on next. Yes, I agree. And here is lazily blocked out. It's apprentice license, so let's click on that one. We don't have a commercial license. And industry file association is also always good to have. Just make sure you also have about 2 GB free space on your laptop or computer. Click next. And here is the important thing. You have to at least click for Maya and Unity, if you're going to work on Unity eventually, and maybe on this. But the most important one for us is Maya 64-bit. I'm going to install the other ones as well because I have them on my computer for future uses. And make sure it's all needed. Yes, okay. Since I had a prior version already, which was an older one that we have now, I'm gonna say uninstall the old one. If you never installed Houdini before, you shouldn't get this message. And I'll come back later because this will gonna take some time. Well, part of the installation, as you can see, and right now this is asking about installing the license that it requires. And since we're gonna reinstall or install a new one, let's just say next. Yes, I accept. And then should register the last few bits and should be done with that. Another message popped up saying it was successfully installed. Good. Next. Go through all the parts. Alright, now that everything is installed, we can now check if actually Houdini shows up in Maya. Let's go to Windows, Preferences, Plugin Manager. And if you scroll really far back down, you should somewhere see Houdini Engine. If you check both on, we can see that Houdini Engine bar pops up on the top here. If you're going to check out what it does, you can try to load assets, but it will give us an error because we haven't really installed the license yet. We only installed Houdini, but doesn't mean we have actually installed the engine license yet. So to make sure that works, we go to the license administrator, and here you can see what kind of licenses we actually got installed on our computer. And there's no of the licenses that says anything about Indie engine. So, and there's also another warning down here, means it's unable to modify something. And if you go to server information, it says what it can't modify. So we have to go search for that file that it's asking for. It's located under the C drive, under Windows, and then in keys, and this is the file that it requests. So let's go for properties, and under security we can edit the file that we want to. Make sure to select your user name, and under here check the modify box. Say OK, Yes, okay. And if we close this again or reopen it again, it should say it's okay now. There, everything works, but we still don't have the Indy license. For that, we have to install it here. Here you have to give in the email address and password they gave you via the email after you ordered the Houdini engine. And once you log in, it will give you a window with all the licenses available to you. Keep in mind, if you want to install an engine on your laptop and your home computer, or multiple, you have to buy always a new engine again, because the quantity that will give you is only for for one computer, as you can see here. But yeah, let's install it. Shouldn't take too long. At least I hope it wouldn't take too long. There you go. And now Houdini engine is installed here. We can now safely close this, go to load assets, open up our tool. First try to acquire Houdini. After it's got installed, we have to restart Maya again. Okay, now we can give it another try. Project tools. And now it works. There we go. And another little tip, if you're going to mainly work on making tracks, then it's maybe a good idea to make your own shelf. So you can make a new shelf here, call it track shelf, for example. And you just go step by step what you want, and you can always add later more. For example, I need to be able to create a mesh, or to create a polygon. For that you hold down Control, Shift, and then click on Create Polygon with left mouse button, and it will create a little icon on here. If you select the icon, you can start creating a polygon. Oh, and before I continue, I actually just noticed again that I forgot the latest assets, so always make sure you get latest on Perforce when you're working on the tools. It asks me the tool 4, yes, at the moment. But yeah, let's go back to the shelf that we were making. We just finished adding this to the shelf. With this you can quickly create a polygon surface. Once you have selected polygon surface, and then with shift the tool, with shift click on the tool, you can set to selection. However, at the moment currently is nothing's popping up. I make sure the bounding box is on, and then reload assets. So you have here, currently it's also very small, but we have the scale parameter here. You can make this nice and big. You can even go out of that by typing it in there manually. So with this done, we can also wonder, okay, maybe we want to have more vertices on the current polygon's face that we have. To add that, we can go under, where was it again? Under multicut tool here on the mesh tools, Control Shift my left mouse button again. So that's our tool shelf that we currently selected. And here we can select one of our edges somewhere, and it sees it as a new point after you hit enter. Oh. Again, vertice modes, make sure you move this around and you can see what happens there. Now we added a point to it. And since the tool we used was cutting last time, we may want to add more. Then we can just press G, which loads our last tool we used. And then we can add another point. Hit enter to actually enter it in. And then done. There we go. However, we want to have more options than that. We also want to make the road turn around to the left or right. For that, we have to go to Windows, and on the General Editors, Component Editor window. For me, it automatically pops up here, but in general it comes up like a new window. You can either have this on top here, see where the blue bar is, shows where it's going to snap, or you can even put it on the side as a little tab. And with that you select a vertex, make sure you're under the polygon tab, and then on default the height 0 columns is selected, which means you don't see any columns that has 0 values, or should be that. But if you unhide it, you are able to see red, green and blue values. With that you can select one vertex, make sure red selected, and now you can start swiveling it around. When you swivel around, make sure the values here are -1 to 1, because to 1 you can go to the right turn, and to -1 you can turn to the left, which for our curve here we might actually need. Next to that we also have the green channel, which gives us, or allows us, to go a bit further with the width. So we can make the curve here really wide, or for example this part here can be, let's select green again, can be very narrow. So you have some changes in the track themselves to make it a bit more interesting. But that's about what you have to know for the tool right now. I hope you found this useful, and I will make more future tutorials if needed, which will be. So see you next time. Goodbye.